Hi everyone. So today we're going to put the miniature roses to bed. So last year I came through and I mulched it with cedar mulch and it worked great, but it was a pain in the ass to clean out around the miniature roses. So this year Rob and I have been coming through, and as he's mowing the lawn, he's been dumping it on the roses. So we're getting a combination of grass clippings and leaf mulch. So what I want to do now, being we've got these all covered over, is go through and take any of the green foliage off that is sticking up above the leaf mulch. And then we're going to cover these over and put them to bed for the winter. I am in Saskatchewan, zone 3B, potentially a 4 if they ever update anything. And so I have to really protect these because most miniature roses are zones anywhere from 5, 6, maybe even higher, mostly 5 and 6. So they will not survive my winters unless they're protected. Now they are really tough. They will tolerate cold snaps down to -5, -6 Celsius, no problem. In fact, I've uncovered them too early in the past in the spring and they've done just fine. But we're going down to -12, so that's pushing it a bit. So let's get these pruned up and then we'll cover them over. And this is really a simple process. Normally I don't cut them down, but some of them got really tall this year, so I got to cut them back a little bit so that they can be covered nicely. And anything you see that's really green, like that on the side there, that's just salvias. We don't need to worry about them. They can stay uncovered. Most likely they'll get mulched over though when I do the rest. So don't forget to sterilize your pruners before you do this. I'm just going to zoom in so you can see exactly what I'm doing here. So I'm just taking the tops off of these. This won't hurt them one bit. And I'm just going to pat them over with a bit of the grass and the mulch to cover them because they're going to get some really good coverage when I tarp them. And I tarp them every year. I always water them in super good so they get lots of moisture before I do this. Now our sprinklers and our water is off out here. And so they've had what they need. They've all formed their rose hips already. So they have done very well this year, even the new ones. So I just cover them over like that. Pretty simple process. Let's do some more. These ones over here were new ones I added. And boy, did they ever get tall. It was impressive. So I'm just going to pull this back a little bit. They're still nice and green. But now it's time. Just take those tops right off. Any branches sticking up. We don't want to take them down too far. So that's why I only take the tops off, because we will get some winter kill on them. So let me just cover that over like that. Let's do this other one over here. There's about 3 or 4 that I need to do this to. See, this one's sticking up a lot, and the one beside it. So we'll just take both of those. And then we're going to pat them in really good. If you haven't seen my other video, I have a comprehensive video of how I protect them. You can check that out. It's from probably a good year ago. Same with this one. Yeah, make sure any mulch, break it up a little bit more and put it over top like that. And you can see they're in pretty good. If you miss one, you just come back and you cut it. Let's go over here and check out this side. I see a couple sticking up over here. You can see it. You can see it right there. This one right here. I'm going to pull it back a little bit. Okay. I'm just going to push that on there. Make sure I patted that down really good. The same with this one over here. And this is kind of like doing my final check on these to make sure they're well covered. If you see anything else sticking up, just give it a cut and move some more mulch on top. And I'm just leaving the rose clippings on because there's mulch underneath them. It's not going to do any harm. And we have one more right here. You can see that little guy. I'm just going to pull it back a bit and take her down. There we go. And if you see, like I said, if you see anything sticking up, get rid of it. Like I said, you will get some winter kill, so if you miss one, don't worry. You've got them mulched up pretty darn good, and they will be fine. All right, now that the entire bed is mulched, the roses are put to bed, I have firmed down the mulch that's on here. We can now go ahead and cover. I'm going to show you how I do that. So I have 2 big tarps I'm going to put on this. I might only need 1, but I suspect 2. And we're just going to lay it over. I'm going to put some boards on to hold it down. Next year I'm going to plant some hybrid teas, and I'm going to do the same thing, except I will have to make rose cones for them. If it's windy, you're going to put boards on it right away to hold it down. And it's just about covered. We're close. I'm just going to throw a couple boards on here. Now I come through with the tarp from the other end. This one has holes in it. It's quite worn out. So I'm just going to double it. It doesn't have to be perfect. The big thing is you don't want the wind getting at it when it's like minus 30. Usually we have enough snow coverage that isn't a problem, but you never know. This is probably the easiest way to protect your roses without buying a bunch of rose cones and stuff like that. And you see how that folds up like that? We're just going to put another board on it to hold it down. Any sides that are longer than you want, just roll it up. And what I like to do on the top is put something across the top. Where I overlapped it here, you want to cover that. And that's it. They're all ready for winter now. All protected, all covered over. It's not pretty, but it works. So if you want more details on how to protect them, how to mulch them up, go ahead, check out my other videos on miniature roses, winterizing them or protecting them for the winter, and you can get some more details. But this is a quick and dirty way of looking after them. Just make sure you water them in really good. I recommend grass and leaves to mulch them up rather than mulch because it just was a pain to clean out, like I mentioned earlier. Totally your choice how you want to do it, but this is what works for me in zone 3B, where it gets down to minus 40 Celsius and with a wind chill up to minus 50 something. We have nasty winters sometimes with a lot of cold wind and it can be dry. Thanks everybody. Bye.